Have you like maybe ran into somebody who just go gun ho and to everything like they don't have care in the world and they just try everything and then this the stuff that seem to work out, or because some people, like I said, fear stops people, but fear makes him go. You see what I'm saying? So could you speak to that? Like, 'cause I can think that that can be some way of emboldening or empowering or whatever.
Yeah, it's overcoming fear.
Uh-huh.
It's overcoming fear. That's ultimately what it is. And fear is what did John F. Kennedy say? The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Fear is a fake construct.
Hmm.
Fear is something where we already are projecting an outcome. We already say, "Oh, I know how it's going to be." I'm scared because I already think I know what's going to happen, but nobody knows what's going to happen. We're always in the now, right? We don't know what the future holds. Like I said earlier, we don't know. There's change. Change is the only constant. So change is always going to happen and change can work in your favor. So if you're scared of something because you think you know what it is to be scared of and you just already assume this is how it's going to be, well, then you're keeping yourself tethered to the ground. You're keeping yourself in a state of lack of action. So the only thing you have to fear is fear itself. You don't know ultimately what's going to happen. You don't. There's too many variables in this world to be certain about anything. And so if you're certain you're scared that it's going to be this way, then I think you're telling a lie in some ways. You don't know until you try. And then most times you look back and you're like, "Oh, that wasn't as scary as I thought."
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
I think when someone who has no fear is someone who can say, "I trust in the unknown. I trust in myself. I trust in the unfolding, and I trust this parachute or the bungee cord."
Right. Right.
Right?
Definitely.
It's a trust. It's like a trust
Yeah.
fall, right? You
Okay.
have to trust, and you have to surrender to the trust. And then but it takes work, right? And it takes some delusion. It takes a belief in self, right? Fear is what stopped you from getting on stage, and it's fictitious, right?
Right.
It
Yeah.
wasn't real.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, especially when and once you like get into it, and it wasn't like I said, it was online. I haven't did anything in person yet, but I was like, I was still nervous, just like I was in person. But when I got through it, everybody, they gave their praise and said I did pretty good and so forth, and I was like, I felt that like I like, well, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was,
And
and
and here you
everything.
are talking about it, right?
Yeah,
Here you are
definitely.
talking about it, and you could talk about it, when you're 90.
Yeah,
I did it. I'm
yeah,
proud of myself. I overcame, and you're scared because you are like, "Oh, this is how it's gonna be." Right? In your head, "I'm gonna screw up. Everyone's gonna laugh at me. They're all gonna think I'm an idiot. I'm gonna be tongue-tied." And then ultimately it didn't happen, did it?
yeah,
And then you
yeah.
get better, and you get better
Mhm.
again, and you try again, and you're like, "Okay, this time around I know what to avoid, or I know how to better prepare." You know? Another f another favorite quote I have is from Abraham Lincoln, and it goes like this: "If I had 8 hours to chop a tree, I'd spend 6 hours sharpening my axe." Right? So preparation is everything, right? So if you're, "Okay, I gotta speak on stage," the rule of thumb is for every minute your speech is, you need an hour of preparation. So if your speech is 12 minutes, you need 12 hours to prepare. So then when it's go time, you're like, "I got this. I already ironed out some of the kinks." I practiced in front of a television screen or camera. I played it back. I heard it over again. I tweaked what I wanted to say. I practiced maybe in front of two people. These are the places I'm tripping up. Maybe I should, think about maybe things, memory cues to not forget this particular point. And then here you are, you're prepared now, and it's going to go easy.
Yeah. N
You,
I
you've just axed out the fear.